In this video tutorial, we will be covering the ability to void pre-authorizations at the payment processor level in Orderlogix. The void feature is supported for a growing list of payment gateways, so please contact Orderlogix to see if your payment gateway is supported. Certain customer service permissions will be necessary to access dialogues where the void functionality is presented. Navigate to the Order Details screen via Order or Customer Lookup options. Click on the status hyperlink for an item on the order in order to view the transaction details, where you will see the status of an applicable pre-auth. The status of the pre-auth can be one of the following four statuses: available, voided, canceled, or settled. An available status means that there is an active pre-authorization for the item that could potentially be voided, canceled, or settled. If the status of the pre-auth is voided, then there was an approved void conducted for the pre-auth that reached the gateway. If you see the status of canceled in the transaction details window and need to reactivate the auth code, click the edit pencil icon next to pre-authorizations, which will then launch the Edit Auth Transaction window. In this window, there is an available checkbox that, when checked and saved, will reactivate the pre-authorization. And the status of settled means that the pre-authorization was successfully settled through the gateway. When you are in the transaction details window, you will see the Void Cancel button displayed next to pre-authorizations. And by clicking the button, we'll launch the Auth Details box. When accessing the Auth Details box, there are three different selections that you can make: Void, Cancel, and Exit. Clicking the Void button sends a request to the gateway to void the pre-auth for the items, and then returns results of an approval or a decline. We will void this pre-authorization later in the tutorial. The results will most likely be approved for voids. However, if you do receive result text stating that the request declined, we would suggest that you contact the processor for more information. Common reasons that a void could decline when attempted in Orderlogix would be if the pre-auth was manually settled or canceled at the gateway. Clicking the Cancel button cancels the pre-auth in Orderlogix, however does not communicate to the processor to void the pre-authorization. Clicking the Exit button exits the Auth Details screen and does not apply a void or cancel. There are many different locations where you can void the pre-authorization from the Order Details screen, other than within the existing Transaction Details window, as well as within the Customer Details Center. Tasks that will display a void option, if applicable, are as follows. This is, of course, if there is an item on the order with an available pre-auth. These will be adding an item, editing the item with the pre-auth, canceling an item, holding items, editing payment information on the order, changing address information, and canceling all orders via the Customer Detail Center. I will be displaying all of these screens with a brief description of the dialog text regarding the void options. The first action we will take is to add a new item to the order by clicking on the Add New button in the Action Item toolbar, which will launch the Add New Item window. When selecting a new item and then clicking the Save button, this will launch an Auth Details window that states by clicking the Exit button, you can add the new item to the order without affecting the existing pre-auth. You can also void or cancel the pre-auth for the existing items in order to include them all together in one transaction while processing. Clicking the green Edit Pencil icon next to the existing item with the pre-auth will launch the Edit Item Details window. By making changes and then clicking the Save button, it will launch the Auth Details window and inform you that saving the changes requires that you either void or cancel the existing pre-auth or exit without saving the changes at all. If you are canceling an item that has an available pre-auth associated to it, you will see a checkbox after clicking the Cancel button. The checkbox will be displayed in the same Cancel Item window and will allow you to check it in order to attempt to void all selected items at the same time they are canceled. To access the void when related to holding an item that has an available pre-auth associated, click the Hold button, which will launch the Hold Items window. There is a drop-down menu displayed in this window as well that gives you the option to do nothing to the pre-auth associated, cancel it, or void it. If you need to edit payment information on an order that has an available pre-auth associated, you would click the Edit pencil icon next to the payment information, which will launch the payment information window. By making changes and saving, this will launch the Auth Details window, which will state that in order to save the payment changes, you must either void or cancel the pre-auth. However, you can also exit the Auth Details window and not save any changes as well. If we navigate over to the Customer Detail Center and then click the Edit pencil icon next to the master address, this is, of course, if this is the address that the current billing address for an open order with an available pre-auth is associated to. By making a change and then clicking the Save button, you will see a Void Option checkbox while attempting to do so. You can also make the change to the address without attempting to void or update the existing order. If you need to make a change to an address or payment profile that is currently attached to an open order that also has an available pre-auth associated, you would click on the appropriate tab and the Edit pencil icon next to the address you wish to change, and by making a change and clicking the Save button, you will see the same void checkbox as you do when editing the master address. You can check the box off, or you can click Submit without checking it and not void that transaction. If you click back into the Customer Information tab and then click the Cancel All Orders button, you will see that the void checkbox in this location is defaulted to void the pre-auth at the customer cancellation level. Now if we click back into the Transaction Details window and click the Void Cancel button, we will go ahead and void this pre-authorization. As long as there is an approval, you can click the OK button and the pre-auth will have been voided at the gateway. Now if you click back into the transaction details, you will see the status of the pre-authorization is voided. When you successfully void a pre-auth, you will see a system activity displayed in the customer activities with notes. There is also a report that you can run in order to view voided pre-authorizations within a given date range with various pieces of information displayed. If you click on the black menu bar that is Reports, and then click on the Processing Reports hyperlink, you will see that the void report is located at the bottom of the list. When you click on the void report hyperlink, you will see the options to choose from regarding the date range and report layout options, as well as the filters for client, campaign, and processing account. This report is of great benefit when using the void feature, as it will display the date information as well as customer information in regards to any pre-authorizations that have been voided. When you run this report, it will display multiple columns of information, including the order, auth dates, and void dates, as well as the customer information and the auth code. You can save report layout favorites for this report as you can for others, and this report is also able to be scheduled. This concludes our tutorial on voiding pre-authorizations in Orderlogix.